That's right. It's the morning show right here on KVVB TV, Channel 33. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. It's great to have you with us on today's show. We've got a special documentary we're going to be talking about. It's A Touch of Sugar, the documentary, actually narrated by actress Viola Davis. And it talks about the America's type 2 diabetes epidemic. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that. Really interesting film as well. And Viola's been going all across the nation talking about. So today we have actually one of the other featured guests there, Latina chef and cookbook author Leticia Moreno Schwartz will be joining us today to talk about not just her role, but also why this is so important. A lot of very interesting facts. I think I saw one fact of by 2030, about 54% of the population might have type 2 diabetes or one of the diabetes, and that's a scary thought over there. So we'll be talking about that as well. Also, around the corner, diamonds. Yes, diamonds, often known as something forever. Of course, you're probably thinking, well, if it's going to be lasting forever, how do I get a good diamond? So we're actually going to be talking a little bit later about this very subject, about diamonds, and we'll be talking about that around the corner. We also got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
So diamonds. Do you have like a particular diamond? I feel like we should do the what's that segment? Where did you get that scarf? Because it's amazing there, Jesse.
Oh, this scarf actually has sentimental value, so
Oh.
no idea where it came from.
Got it. Okay. All right. So it was a gift. I get it. Well, speaking of gifts, we got a couple stories on today's show on some gifts giving because everybody's in that like thought pattern now. We're all like, okay, let's see, Black Friday's coming up around the corner. What can we get for other people or maybe ourselves? Right? I don't know. I've never actually bought anything on Black Friday. I've gone one time to a Walmart like in I think it was what was that near Six Flags. Can't think of it. Near Valencia, right? And it was like empty. So I think in LA, there's certain ones that you want to stay away from. I don't know, just my opinion. But there you go. So we got lots to talk about, including social media comments. Want to say a big thank you to Periscope, Facebook, LinkedIn, as well as YouTube Live. We see your comments over there. All right, we got to take a quick break, but when we get back, we got some stories coming up around the corner you're definitely not going to want to miss. Plus, yeah, a particular streaming service is finally out. We've been waiting for it. Got questions? We got answers, I hope. We'll see all of that more right here after these messages. Stay tuned. All right, so we're on our commercial break. For those of you joining us for the very first time, welcome. We got Alex Mellot over there on Periscope. We see you. LinkedIn Live, we see you as well. Periscope, Facebook, YouTube. Sorry, it's hard to I'm going to need like multiple monitors over here with everybody's social media. We got to figure out a way to like group them all to one so we can see everybody's comments. That would be great, right? Somebody needs to create that app. Bobby Stamps over there says, good morning, Earthlings. Let's see. Says, on my morning walk with KVVB and KMET. Oh, you know what, Bobby? I like that. That's pretty good. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're not walking around collecting Pokemon or at Pokestops because I could guarantee you right now, if Brenda wasn't here and she would do that right now. She's in that phase. You know, there's phases, where like you're like, wait a minute, we're traveling. She like you can't play while like on the freeway, but if she's the passenger, right? It's like we get to a lot of Pokestops. Remember that, Jesse? Or wait, you never
Yeah.
downloaded it, right? Or wait, did you kind of
No,
sort?
but I was driving with my brother. He'd be like, "Stop! There's a stop right there."
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I figured out. By the way, this is a tip for all Pokemon Go people. Here's how you do it without having to stop. You because the GPS takes a while. I know. I got my geek on right now, but hold up. Because I'm really excited that she does this now. Because seriously, it took. I really thought no woman would put up with my Pokemon
We
Go
got 10
craziness.
seconds.
And I had heard it from others. Oh, you do that Pokemon Go, and I'd get that look. I'm like, you know what? Fine, and I gave in to peer pressure. Anyway, so if you have
2
to click
seconds.
on it before you get to it, and then you. All right, fine. We'll come. We'll, that's right. It's the morning show right here on KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Let's see, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live. We're everywhere. So if you miss us in one section, you just pick us up in another. It's simple. We want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you for tuning into this episode of the morning show. Later on, we're actually going to be talking about a very serious subject, one of which actress Viola Davis talks about in the documentary entitled it's Sugar, lots of sugar, or taste of sugar. There it is, A Touch of Sugar. It's a documentary, so we'll get it right by the end of the show. And so we'll be talking about that as well as some interesting statistics on this documentary. We're actually going to have Latin chef and cookbook author Leticia Morenos Schwartz joining us and talking about her role in this particular thing, as well as American Diabetes Month and how we can improve our eating habits. See, I like this part because it's not just, oh, sugar, you're going to get diabetes. It's like, well, how do we eat better than in order to help avoid this or curtail it, right? Because I know obviously this is something passed on through centuries. But of course, certain things exasperate the situation, right? I know because my mom has diabetes as well, but she was able to curtail it as well, changing her eating habits. So there's things you can do. There's some, unfortunately, that you can't. Just hope you don't get it. I remember my grandfather having to take shots, and because he had really bad diabetes, he would do the shot almost daily, I think it was. So the insulin shots. So there you go. But not something to look forward to, but definitely something to look forward to speaking about. That way we could get a little bit more better on that. Also, around the corner, diamonds. Yes, you're probably thinking, well, let's see. What kind of diamond is the right diamond to get? So we're going to be talking around the corner to the experts over there. So we'll be talking to Grant Mobley, who's there at the Diamond Producers Association, and we're going to be talking about don't get duped. Don't get duped this holiday. Yeah, know your diamonds. What consumers should know when shopping for diamonds this holiday season and why the 4 C's are no longer enough. What? Do you remember the 4 C's, Jesse?
Yeah, of course. Would you like me to say it?
I actually would because I don't remember the 4 C's to be honest.
Okay, okay, let's see. Cut, clarity, um dang, I just know cut and clarity.
Okay, that's good. 204. I would have gotten just, I think, the clarity one. The 4 C's include cut, color,
Ah,
clarity, and carrot. Carrot, remember, not the
oh,
carrot, like,
okay.
yeah, good for your, what is it? Carrots? Yeah, that the CARAT. So there you go. Those are the 4 C's. Why is that not relevant? What? I always thought that was the thing. That's what everybody told us. So you're definitely going to want to listen to this episode of The Morning Show. But before we get to that, got to ask Jesse, how are you doing over there?
I'm doing great.
Looks like you're warm, right? Yeah, not so.
Oh yeah, it's a bit nippy in the morning over here.
Yeah, I know, I know. He's in Alaska, people. So there you go. So
Oh,
you might as well be. I mean, it's pretty. I know Alaskans are like, no, it's not that cold over there. You're such a wimp. But I'm not saying you're a wimp. I'm just saying that's what Alaskans will say of you. Just don't. Yeah. Moving on though.
oh yeah.
Let's do some good news, right? Let's. This one kind of got me a little excited. I'm not gonna lie here. Well, I'm gonna wait for that one because there's one that I just okay. Well, let me ask you this: when you drive around, Jesse, do you use any navigational system to help you navigate other than
N-
Pokemon Go with your brother?
No, I do not use anything.
Okay. May I suggest Waze? By the way, Waze is one of those we've talked about quite a few times. Google Maps is like really trying to, improve upon their Google Maps, which I have to hand it to them. They added, I don't know if you saw this, but they added like stop signs and they added signals. So instead of telling you, some weird name of that you have to turn to because it doesn't know how to transfer the name, it'll just tell you in 2 signals from now you're going to make a left. Have you seen that?
Oh,
It's a new update.
I haven't seen that. I like that.
Yeah, me too. I know we were just using that this week and we're like, oh, this is actually really good. I like this version of Google Maps. But Maps has kind of been a little behind the curve on this story, and it is this. Cookie Monster will give you driving directions via Waze. Come on. That's good news right
Yeah,
there.
I'm sold. You had me
Yeah,
at Cookie Monster.
that's a way to wake up, right? You're like, wait, you know what? Now I need to download Waze. Yes, the hungry Muppet with the sweet tooth. Hey, we're talking about sweets. Hopefully he doesn't have diabetes. Is back to read turn-by-turn directions on the navigation app Waze. He took a short hiatus after first showing off his navigational skills this summer. I missed that, by the way. I did not know he was doing this because my lady, she does Waze. I don't think she knew this was an option. It's not just num nums and me want cookies, but honest driving directions to get where you're going. The friendly monster's voice and mood is available. Wait, he kind of does get moody, depending on if he eats or not, right? Reminds me of some people. Is available in the voice and sound settings within the app starting Monday in honor of Cookie Monster's birthday. What? It was on Saturday, by the way. Happy belated. That's according to the story. That the voice option won't be available forever. Why not? Why can't we do this forever? So there you go. But get it while before it's gone. Cookie Monster was featured on the app before it was one of the most popular celebrity voices. Previous Sesame Street voice options from Elmo, Oscar the Grouch, Cookie Monster were short-lived on Waze. Fans were so sad to see their favorite characters go, but that's how the Waze cookie crumbles. There's nothing like commuting with Elmo, Oscar, and Cookie Monster. So what do you think about that? I mean, come on. If you could have any Sesame Street character, or for that matter, any cartoon character or Muppet character, which would you choose, Jesse? And social media audience, we want to know.
I would go with Cookie Monster for a Muppet, but let's see. Other cartoons? So many choices. It's kind of hard to choose.
I know, right? You're thinking like, I don't know, is it going to be a Care Bear? Is it kind of like, will it be like, you got to go left, right, here, or are
That,
you like,
that'll be. I have a feeling that'll get annoying really quick.
yeah. No, you can. I guess like a lot of. I know, right? 1, 2, 3 streets up ahead. You go left.
Uh,
Yeah.
oh,
Brenda likes Cookie Monster. She's like, yeah. But what if he gets a little sidetracked? Like, cookie. I see cookie shop to your right. You need cookie. Nom 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 nom. Right? Yeah. There you go.
be
Me want cookie.
something like that.
I'm just saying, like I could see like a cookie shop and it's sponsored by Cookie Monster, right? Me need cookie. You need cookie too. You driving kind of reckless there. You need cookie to be less hungry. Right? Come on.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Okay,
So
all right.
takes over your GPS and instructs you to a cookie shop. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's appropriate. I mean, come on, Waze. Let's work with this. And Google, you're slacking there. So Google should have been ahead of this. We need to talk to Kayla over there every Friday, and we need to mention this. Since we're talking about characters right now, let's switch it up to Sonic the Hedgehog. You guys seen this? Okay, so Sonic the Hedgehog. For those that love Sega Genesis, when they saw this trailer, many were upset, including us. I'm not going to lie. It was one of those where you're like, oh man, and it was so bad that the director said, okay, we're going to go back to the drawing board and we're going to make this digital version of Sonic the Hedgehog better. Well, the new Sonic the Hedgehog trailer's here. It looks like they've toned down those teeth, or at least pulled them out down his upper lip. In other words, he went to the dentist. After a serious roasting of the first trailer for Sonic's rather human teeth, there's a new improved trailer. In this trailer, Nice Guy Tom, played by James Marsden, and his new pal Sonic do a lot of things really fast, road tripping, playing darts in a pub, and battling the villainous Dr. Robotnik, played by Jim Carrey. So will you see it now? It lands in theaters February 13th, 2020. Jesse, will you go see it now? Now that he's kind of got his dental procedure over there.
I'll actually see it mainly because they took our opinions and our crying and they actually changed it. So besides, the whoever approved that character design deserves to be slapped.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's called people that have the bucks but never played the game, right? They're like, oh, there was okay. This is IP licensed. All right, sure, intellectual property. We could work with that. And then they mess with it. But the fans are the ones that are going to keep it going or not. I think great idea that they did this, even if they had to delay it. Great idea as well. Glad you listened to the fans, and you know what? That's something about public opinion, which we appreciate. But so there you go. Speaking of dentists, I went to the dentist yesterday, and as you can see, I can speak. I had the second phase of I've got like 3 or 4 phases of my teeth. That's how bad they were. So if I could do a shout out to Dr. Kashani over there at Lasting Impressions Dental Spa. Yeah, there he is. He's got, you know what, that smile he keeps throughout the entire procedure. And he's great. Okay, so there's a dentist that if you've ever been to, they kind of scare you, right? They tell you what they're gonna do, and then the drilling happens. You're like, ah. He's one of those where instead of like having his assistant put in the Novocaine, he's like, I'll do it myself, and I'm like, I appreciate that, because he's very like particular. He's kind of like a surgeon. He's one of those. How can I say this? But okay, when somebody's really really careful at what they do because they kind of want to make sure that they're the best dentist out there. And they probably compare stories with other dentists. They're like, yeah, I'm the best. He does this, by the way, and you want that, right? So, and he's great. Like his whole team is great. The whole office is great. Great vibe. You go in and there's like, what was playing yesterday? It was like, was it Lady Gaga, Britney Spears? It was one of those. It was like a party up in there. And then they have Netflix. If you get really like, look, here's my thing. I had a tooth extracted entirely because it was half the tooth missing, and this was no fun for me. Okay, 2 hours of no fun. Except it was more fun having done it at Dr. Kashani. So big shout out to the entire team over there at Lasting Impressions Dental Spa. And I posted this on my personal profile yesterday because, like I tell people, I recommend everybody. There's Kelly. I ran into Kelly. Kelly V. Dolan. Many of you remember Kelly, of course, who did a lot of shows together. Had a great time, and so we had a great time yesterday, just seeing each other. We both had our own procedures. We were both in separate, opposite rooms, but it was really cool to see a friend there, a longtime friend, being able to get our teeth done. I sent my mom there. So if I can recommend to anybody, and I often do, I say go to Lasting Impressions Dental Spa. Some of those like ads where you see and they kind of just they talk about it, but you're like, yeah, but do you like that dentist? We do. I do. I trust. In fact, I made my lady quit another dentist company and said I brought her over to here, and I'm glad I did because then we got like a 2-for-1. No, we didn't. It's just he tricked me, and then I'm like, well, no, I'll get my teeth done after she gets her teeth done. He's like, come on, we need to take care of your teeth. He watches the show too, so big shout out to the entire team over there at Lasting Impressions Dental Spa. Okay, before we go to break though, because I don't want you to all think this was like sponsor. It's not. It's a thank you to Dr. Kashani for I can speak today, and he didn't do like the all of it. He goes, if I do it all at once, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm going to be in such pain. So he breaks it up. Again, he thinks about his patients. See, that's a dentist that you can count on. Yes, he's in Encino. For some of you, that's a bit of a trip, but it's a good trip. Trust me. All right. This, I don't know, good idea, bad idea. Scented wrapping paper. Would you do it? And what type of wrapping paper would you want? Now, Jesse, any idea of what wrapping paper you would give maybe like your honey? Like, favorite. Do you know her favorite scent yet?
Not yet, but knowing me, I'll probably do some like Dr. Pepper scented wrapping paper.
Okay. Okay. That sounds good. That sounds good. Well, this is one. It is a Jimmy Dean sausage scented wrapping paper. It's back for the holidays. You're welcome. Meat lovers, this one's for you. Imagine giving that to a vegan. That would be such a
Ooh, I'm getting that.
I know that's Jesse all over. The recipe gift exchange is a fun way for loyal Jimmy Dean customers to share their favorite dishes to make using Jimmy Dean products. All you have to do is upload a photo through their website of your homemade recipe and then choose what gift you want in return. This offer is valid until December 17th, so you better start cooking. The gifts to choose from are fun and, of course, on brand for Jimmy Dean. Options include a sausage package ornament, cowboy slipper boots, sausage flavored candy canes, Jimmy Dean logo socks, sweet and savory lip balm, and the sausage scented wrapping paper. So there you go. You're probably thinking, where do I go to get this great deal? Here it is, Jimmy Dean's website. Just type in jimmydeangiftexchange.com and you'll find out more information right there. So there it is. I'm kind of liking the boot. I'm not going to lie. I think that's something to get. But all right, we need to take a break. We got to regroup here, as you can tell. The show has gotten away from us quite a bit ever since I learned about Cookie Monster telling us the directions. Okay, we'll tone it down. We'll be back right after these messages right here of the morning show. Stay tuned. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, having fun. Yeah, I know. My lady and I, we went dancing on Saturday night to a little bit of salsa, merengue, rumba. It was all there. Sure, I have a bad knee, but lady wants dancing. We'll make that happen. So I just got a massage the next day on my leg. So there you go. All right. And shout out to those tuning in. Pod Sound School over there on Periscope. Thanks for watching. Says Cookie Monster is my favorite, and Elmo. Elmo. Oh man, I used to do that with the kids. The kids loved it. But you get them on the phone, right? Because you can't do it in person. They look at you like, "What's wrong with you?" But you get them on the phone, you talk with them like that. They have so much fun. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Says amazing Cookie Monster impersonation. I watched a lot of Sesame Street, among other stuff, and always impersonated it. But yeah. All right. Let's see. We've got in social media, you guys over there. Stephanie Reed, Bobby Stamps. Thanks for tuning in. Diana is asking, how is Tim Harris? Oh, well, you should ask him yourself. Just message him. Say, hey, Tim, how are you? I don't want to speak for him. But is he out of the hospital? The update is yes. Is he doing much better than he was? The answer is I don't know. I don't know. I certainly hope so. I wouldn't see them like letting him go entirely, but I think he needs a follow-up. But I'm just saying. All right, but you can ask him personally. Let's see. Diana Chinevere says, I used Waze on my Android and loved it, but when I was traveling from Texas to Florida, for some reason, the app didn't download right on my iPhone. Google Maps kept asking me to download their app, so I finally gave in since Waze wasn't working. Oh, yeah, I hate it when that happens. Casey says, I want GPS directions from Scooby and Shaggy. That's a good duo, right?
30 seconds.
I can see them getting into a fight, though, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Or you can't understand Scooby, right? Turn
Turn
over
right
here. Oh, man. Oh, Pod Sound School says
Mondays.
I can't get my husband to merengue or salsa with me. You know why? You know why you can't? He
10 seconds.
doesn't know how to. And so he's embarrassed. So you just sign up for classes, take him once, twice, 3 times, say, you know what? My birthday present, give this to me. He'll do it, and then he'll feel more confident, and he'll do it. It's just the twist. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM, KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, and Periscope TV. LinkedIn Live and YouTube Live as well. We want to say a big thank you. We got comments in social media. We've got Diana Chinevere says, being on the Gulf Coast of Florida, it might be fun to have a GPS with Johnny Depp's voice in his Pirates of the Caribbean character. You know what? That's a good one. I like that. Also, Casey says she would like Scooby-Doo and Shaggy as her directions. And I like this one. Stephanie Reed says, I like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. I could see that happening. Why not, right? What is it? Let's see. No, I can't. I could do Stitch, but it hurts the vocal cords. So there you go. Anyway, moving on though, we got lots to talk about here on this show. Around the corner again, we're definitely keeping it there for diamonds. We'll be talking about diamonds, and then around that, a little bit about sugar as well as diabetes and how all of that kind of comes to the fore. So before we get to that, why don't we talk about some good sugar items so that we could at least feel a little like this one. You know, we can modify it. Wendy's has a new birthday cake, Frosty Sundae. Frosty Sundae. I love their Frosty, by the way. I rarely have it. I don't eat a lot of sugar. I try not to. But you know, a little bit in moderation. It says that's topped with sugar cookie pieces. Oh, diabetes in a bowl, right? Okay. For some of us, not all of us. But then you got to modify. Okay. So anyway, Wendy's, yeah, it's you get two. The fast food chain has added a new birthday cake frosty and birthday cake frosty cookie sundae to their menu. It consists of the chain's vanilla frosty mixed with classic birthday cake flavor. If you want to get a little more indulgent, the birthday cake frosty cookie sundae consists of the birthday cake frosty and topped with sugar cookie pieces and sprinkles. What say you, Jesse?
It looks amazing, and I wish I can consume it.
Yeah, right. I know. I'm like getting ready for that. So there's that, and then there's this. This is good news here that we can all can use. The Real Women. Did you ever see Hidden Figures, by the way? Okay, so Hidden Figures is with Katherine Johnson, Dr. Christine Darden, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson. Those are the real life inspirations of Hidden Figures. That movie was fantastic. They're set, the real life, not the actresses, so it's not the actresses that played these, are set to receive congressional gold medals. President Donald Trump signed the bill on November 8th, awarding each individual woman the medal in recognition of their work. And an additional symbolic medal was awarded to all the women who contributed to the success of NASA during the space race. Yes, if you remember, that was a great movie there, by the way. And again, the actresses are not getting it, but the roles that they played of those that actually are the hidden figures are the ones that are going to get this. Said Harris on this. Kamala Harris said, Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, Mary Jackson, and Dr. Christine Darden made monumental contributions to science in our nation. The groundbreaking accomplishments of these four women and all of the women who contributed to the success of NASA helped us win the space race, but remained in the dark far too long. I am proud our bill to honor these remarkable women has passed Congress. These pioneers remain a beacon for black women across the country, both young and old. And so, what do you think? Pretty good idea, right? Now, let's see. Wanda Jackson, let's see. Jackson's medal will be presented to her granddaughter, Wanda Jackson. Oh, got it. Okay. It says the Secretary of the Treasury will determine the design for the gold medals. With the medals being awarded posthumously to Jackson and Vaughan. As a result, Vaughan's award will be displayed in the National Museum of African American History and Culture, and Jackson's medal will be presented to her granddaughter, Wanda Jackson. Collect Space reports Johnson, who's 101, Darden, who is 75, are expected to receive their medals in a special ceremony. You know what? Good job over there. Rightly, you know what? I'd like to say better late than never, but it's sad that it took this long to actually recognize that. But again, at least they got recognized, right? So there you go. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about diamonds. Why are the four C's no longer relevant? This is like news to me. We got to find out. Right after these messages of the morning show, we will find out together. So stay tuned right there. We'll be right back. All right, so Pod Sound School, a little tip for you over there. Okay, so you can't start them on salsa. Okay, salsa is a little bit more. If you're not like really good left right foot coordinated, salsa is not the way to go. When I first learned, I was terrible at all of it. Okay, I was that person. I'd be like, I'd rather sit down, and then I realized women don't like you to sit down. They might put up with you for a bit there while they sit there, while they see other ladies like get on the dance floor. But if you're there as a dude, she's secretly thinking in her head, why doesn't he want to take me out? Right? And you don't even have to be like, I mean, even if you put in some effort, she'll be okay. Trust me, she'll be okay. She just wants to get out there and move her hips and do her thing and da, 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 da. And sometimes it comes natural. For some of us, it doesn't come natural, right? I'm like, what gene in me got turned off that I'm not good at this? So here's the secret. You got to teach him merengue, okay? Merengue's easy. You just kind of like go back and forth, and it's all in the arms. You got to learn the arms. So you got to learn the twisting of the arms. The arms is the fun part. And then you just kind of grab. There's just a few that you have to learn. Get him started on that, and then he might be like, oh, okay, if he can do that, even if he doesn't learn salsa, like the 1, 2, 2, that one was hard for me, or the cha cha cha, or the, I mean, there's a couple that are kind of easy, right? But my point is this: get him on that simple one. That worked for me. And that's the only thing that gets me out on the dance floor. So I can look like I know what I'm doing as long as I know where this hand goes. But then you got to know where your hand goes too. It takes both to know, because it's kind of hard when you're like, okay, no, this hand goes there. So you gotta work out the details like away from people, by the way. So don't do it like in public, because as men, we're very self-conscious when it comes to dancing, because we see that guy over there and he's all like, he's like doing it, right? And we're like, we're competitive by nature, so we're like, I can't live up to that. I'd rather just not and pretend like I hate dancing. It's a thing. Yeah. But you put on some of that music, and in the car, all of a sudden, they're like, cha 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 cha. You won't stop him. I'm telling you, right? Am I wrong?
We got 40 seconds.
Babe, do you want to weigh in on this? Brenda. No one wants to weigh on this. Okay. Am I wrong? I don't know. That's my tip for guys.
You got to do the sprinkler.
Brendan wants to be quiet about this. I watched. Something's gonna. What? Wait. I shouldn't ask. I should learn just to keep the sprinkler.
Yeah.
What's?
10 seconds.
Pod Sounds Cool says, yeah, he doesn't have the gene. Well, yeah, it's in all. We can work at it. Yeah. Give him a michelada. Oh, give him some tequila. Teach him. Boom.
2 seconds.
He'll be out there. That's right. It's the morning show. Right here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM, KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, and YouTube Live. Yes, wherever video can be seen online. We've got with us right here around the corner, diamond expert and graduate of the Gemological Institute of America, known as GIA, Grant Mobley. Good morning. Welcome to the show, Grant. Grant, are you there?
I'm here. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you. Okay, look, you're a diamond expert over there, and I understand. I've always thought the 4 C's were the way to go. Now I'm understanding to not get duped. What's going on over there? Is there a shakeup in the diamond industry I didn't know about?
I wouldn't say much of a shakeup. I think that it's just important for consumers to know that the 4 C's, while they are important in determining, part of a diamond's value, they certainly don't tell the whole picture. And then, today, because the consumer has more choices than ever, especially when it comes to buying a diamond, some retailers are now carrying something we call lab-grown diamonds. And so what I want to do is ensure that customers know exactly what they're buying.
Oh.
And, make sure that they don't actually accidentally purchase a lab-grown diamond thinking that they're buying a natural diamond. Because really, the lab-grown diamond and natural diamond are 2 totally different products, so you wouldn't want to make that mistake in buying one thinking you were getting the other.
Now, okay, so I don't know much about like cubic zirconium, although I know it's not the real diamond, right? Okay, so just humor me for a minute. A lab-grown diamond and a real diamond, what's the major difference?
So a lab-grown diamond is, simply put, is a manufactured product, and it's made to be like a natural diamond. And while they may look similar to the naked eye, it's important for consumers to know that they differ greatly when it comes to their origin and their inherent value. And so lab-grown diamonds are mass-produced in factories that are located primarily in China and India over the course of about 2 weeks. And so this industrial production process of lab-grown diamonds leaves distinct markings inside the stone and differences in the growth structure that make them detectable 100% of the time with the right equipment. So they are not exactly the same, contrary to some belief, but they can be distinguished 100% of the time.
Okay, so when you're shopping for a diamond, what's one of the most important questions to ask? Because I know this is the time that we're going into where a lot of people are going to pop the question, right, for their significant other or their soon to be forever. And as men, we're kind of a little like, we don't know what to ask. We just go, "Ooh, shiny."
Sure. Well, I think that because some retailers are now carrying these lab grown diamonds, I think it's really important just to ask that question: is this natural or is this lab grown? Because again, you don't want to think you're giving somebody a natural diamond when actually you're giving them a lab grown diamond. And because it can be very confusing sometimes for consumers that don't really know what they're looking for. So there might be confusing terminology that they don't quite understand. So they might not know right out front that they're buying a lab-grown diamond. So it's important to know that question just so that you know to ask.
So I'm a little confused on this. Then, are these like considered less expensive diamonds? So people think, "Oh, I'm getting such a great deal for this diamond," and in reality, it's kind of a knockoff.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good way to put it. So when it comes to the value, natural diamonds and lab-grown diamonds have two totally different values. So a natural diamond its value is based on the fact that it is a finite and rare product. So it's inherently valuable, and that value it grows over time. Over the decades, that value has shown to grow. Whereas a lab-grown diamond's value is exactly the opposite because it's a manufactured product. The value continues to go down as the manufacturing process gets cheaper and cheaper. So that price will continue to decline as technology improves and as production volumes grow and so forth. So it's similar to buying a plasma TV 10 years ago, how much it would have been then, and then the exact same plasma TV now would be, an absolute fraction of what it would be worth back then. So it's really, really similar. And that way we want to make sure that consumers know that difference in value because they might think they're getting a good deal, at the beginning, but they might think the lab grown looks like a good deal, but in fact it's really, really not because the next year it's going to be even cheaper, and then the next year it's going to be even cheaper, and so forth and so on, whereas the natural diamond will hold that value over time. So it's, totally different.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Grant. I would imagine some people would say out there, well, yeah, because I don't know how they're pitching, because I haven't heard the other side, but I could see it being pitched as like it's more eco-friendly and sustainable if you create these lab-grown diamonds. Is that true? Not really.
Well, it's important to remember. I think the consumers need to think about it like this. When these factories that are making lab-grown diamonds, what they have to do to make them is to condense this process that the Earth took hundreds of millions of years to do. They're condensing that process with super high heat and super high pressure into a period of only about 2 weeks. So imagine that, some hundreds of millions of years into about 2 weeks, and how much energy that would take to do that. So in order to do that, obviously, they have to burn fossil fuels to create that energy. So this really gives you an idea of how much energy it would use just to create one lab-grown diamond. And if you have that, in comparison to a natural diamond, new research is actually showing that lab-grown diamonds produce 3 times more carbon emissions than natural diamonds. So, we definitely don't want a consumer to go in thinking they're buying something that was more eco-friendly when, in fact, it's exactly the opposite.
Yeah, well, I could definitely see that argument there. Now, Grant, quick question: are there any other tips? I already bought a diamond for. Now I'm going to go back and see like if it was a grown one. Although I don't see where we got it to do that to us. I'm pretty sure she would tell us that. But just any other suggestions when shopping for a diamond?
So yeah, to your point, I think that what I like to tell consumers is shop at a trusted jeweler. That's first and foremost. Jewelers are there really to guide you through that process and to give you that information that you need. And
Right.
Whether that's reading reviews or taking recommendations from friends and family on who to shop with, that's a really good thing to do. And if you decide to buy online, which of course can be risky no matter what you're buying, but you definitely need to read the fine print. I think that that's really the important thing to look at because there can be misleading terms. There can be misleading terms like lab-grown, like man-made and cultured and so forth that mean that the diamond is not natural, and you need to know to look out for those.
Grant, I could see a lot of marriages being saved right now because I could see like a lady going, she goes in to praise her diamond, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, that's not the real genuine diamond," and she's like, I've never and she gets all upset at him, and he's like, "I didn't even know the difference. I didn't listen to the morning show. I don't know." Like you by visiting here have helped save a lot of relationships. So I just want to thank you, Grant.
Oh, well, I certainly hope so.
Definitely. All right, everybody. By the way, where can we go for more information?
You can go to realisadiamond.com.
All right, there you go. Grant Mobley, thank you so very much for spending time with us here on The Morning Show.
All right, thank you.
Stay tuned for more right after these messages. We're going to be talking about a documentary that you're definitely going to want to check out. We'll be right back right after this. Hakuna means family. That's there it is. Stitch, right? Close? No cigar? I don't know. Turn it right here. I don't know. I don't remember how he gets like kind of cranky over there. All right, moving on though. We got diamonds. Very interesting, right? Taz says just like Aaron just did for diamonds to help us out. Sharing, sharing's caring, right? Bobby says diamonds are forever, although the thought is what matters most, right? I know. I mean, you know what? That's why you go with the, huh? Did you guys hear that? I don't know if she. Oh, you didn't unmute yourself? Okay, unmute yourself and ask that because they're looking at me going, what?
Okay, there's a whole new level of diamonds now, people, because now you have cubic zirconian, and now you have modified diamonds, and then you have real diamonds. So now it's which fake do you want to have, or do you want to have a real one? So now you really are valuing jewelers because you know you're going to get a real diamond compared to some of these that I'm looking at or was looking at, that they look pretty legit like a cubic zirconia.
20 seconds.
In other words, don't trust anybody on the corner going, this is a real diamond. Hey, real diamond, real diamond. You got to get my real diamond, right? I mean, it's true. It's the thought that counts. But, I'm just saying. I mean, thankfully, I got our engagement ring
5
over
seconds.
at Diamond Trusted Angel Jewelers. And, I don't see her. I'm sure she's aware of those, but she would. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Also joining our live TV audience over there at KVVB TV, 33 Facebook Live, and Periscope TV. Also, it's that time. Yes, right now it's that time for a special documentary that's going to be playing on A&E and FYI networks. It's called A Touch of Sugar, highlighting type 2 diabetes, the epidemic, airing nationally. We've got with us a Latin chef and cookbook author, Leticia, I thought we did, Moreno Schwartz. Oh, got it. Okay, so they're getting ready to go with us. I think they're being held up by the last agency over there. But we're going to be talking about this. Did you know that type 2 diabetes is on the rise, and it's especially impacting the Hispanic community, among other communities as well? So we'll be talking about that. Right here, right now, with us, we have Latin chef and a cookbook author, Leticia Moreno Schwartz. Good morning. Welcome to the show, Leticia.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for joining us. Look, this is a very important topic. I know this runs in my family. This runs in a lot of people's families. Diabetes. Now, this documentary, A Touch of Sugar, narrated by actress Viola Davis, it dives into this. But talk to me about your role in this particular film.
Yeah, absolutely. It runs in your family and it runs in my family too. You know, this is a very personal topic to me. My grandfather died from complications of type 2 diabetes, and my grandmother, never really had the right information or resources to help him cope with the disease. And my role in the film is really I share my passion for healthy cooking. Um, with a Latin lady in the movie um, living in California, and how she struggles to manage her type 2 diabetes for the lack of education and information, very much like my grandparents. So, yeah, it affects a lot of people.
Yeah, when we talk about, again, not just diabetes, we talk about alternatives to certain things. Look, sugary drinks were like all the rage when I was growing up, and these large amounts. Now we've kind of scaled it down. I know it features some portions on a national scale what the government's trying to do to curtail this. But tell me about like your role when it comes to some of these healthy food items. Anything that you can like turn us on to, if especially we're battling it or we're coming up across it and we get to the doctor, but we're like, oh, I don't want to throw away my sweets, and yet you kind of have to, or do you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that people have a lot of stigma about healthy cooking and associate healthy cooking with tasteless and flavorless. And my role in this documentary is to really prove the opposite. You know, as a chef, first of all, I understand that there are common challenges that Hispanics face across the nation that are the same, like eating healthy, exercising, and working with your doctor on a treatment plan that's right for you. And again, as a chef, it is a mission of joy and love to prepare recipes that are good for the whole family. I want to inspire people to come together in the kitchen. I think that cooking at home is one of the biggest gifts that you can give for your family and for yourself. Because when you cook at home, you really have control of what goes in your body, and what can be more important than that. And in the documentary, in the movie, we talk exactly about that, how so many people still don't have access to nutrition information, to cooking classes. So what we try to do is we try to arm people with information. And the goal of the movie is not only to raise awareness about type 2 diabetes, but also to sparkle change and action and change in lifestyle, and ultimately, to help confront this epidemic head on, one community and one patient at a time.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned this. I know for our family, we had to kind of curtail what we ate, and trust me, I get it. In the Latin community, there's a lot of foods that I'm like, oh, but it's so good. Is there any particular one that you say we should either curtail or change the way we eat that probably has the most, I want to say damage to our system, but we're unaware of?
Well, there are so many small changes that we still need to do and put it into practice. One change that is even psychological is not so much, in terms of ingredients, but to isolate a member of the family. I remember when my grandparents were alive, and my grandmother wouldn't allow my grandfather to eat that certain recipe. So that's kind of like one of the worst things that you can do when you live with type 2 diabetes, is to isolate a member of the family. And then, of course, there are other substitutions that you can, put into practice. For example, instead of using white rice, you use brown rice. Instead of using ground meat, you start using leaner meats, you want to go to your supermarket with a list that you prepared ahead of time. You want to visit a fresh farmers market on a regular basis. There are so many tips and, small changes that together they make a difference.
Yeah, Leticia, I know we've run out of time. We got you late in the game over here. But before we let you go, is there any other information we need to know? I understand there's an America's Diabetes Challenge, and people can watch this pretty soon around the corner.
Exactly. So we're very excited. People can watch the documentary on A&E on November 17th and FYI on November 18th, November 23rd, and November 25th. But be sure to check your local listings for the air times. And you can visit atouchofsugarfilm.com to have more information about the documentary and even to have access to the link with the documentary.
Perfect. I love it. Well, I want to say thank you so very much for spending time with us, Leticia, and I look forward to following you, your tips, your cookbook, all your recipes. How can we follow you?
Absolutely. So you can follow my work at chefleticia.com, and the name of my cookbook is Latin Superfoods. And again, the name of our website is atouchofsugarfilm.com.
Got it. All right. We'll be tuning in for sure. Thank you so very much for spending your morning with us as well as your story. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. So there she is. Leticia also featured in this new documentary, A Touch of Sugar. It's already made the film circuit award. I think I saw it on the Tribeca Film Festival, got an award there. Now it's been picked up by A&E and FYI Network. So really great film. So if you get a chance to watch it, let us know. I actually don't have A&E or FYI, so I'm going to have to get some get FYI'd. All right, so there you go. But really good information. And if you want to go check out more, and perhaps you don't have either one of those, just go check out the actual website. It's very simple. Just type it in, atouchofsugar.com. That's where all the information's at. And it's a good discussion to have. And I think in that trailer, they showed a lot more than what we just saw right now. But let's take another quick break. When we come back, we've got a little bit more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Did you?
More than 30 million American adults are living with diabetes, and 90 to 95% have type 2 diabetes.
When you have diabetes, you have to do what you have to do. I mean, it's not a disease that goes away. It's 365 days a year, 24 hours a day.
I woke up, I couldn't see. My head was pounding. My body felt like I was walking underwater. I didn't know what was going on.
It never passed through my mind that I'm going to have diabetes, even though I know that I have it in my genes because of my family history. I never know that I will be diagnosed with diabetes.
When they told me I was diabetic, he gave me a pamphlet, and that was it.
This isn't a problem, this is an epidemic.
There is a semblance of shame that is forced upon people with diabetes. I didn't choose to get diabetes.
If current trends continue, by 2030, the prevalence of diabetes in the United States will increase by 54%.
Why is it important to stand up for diabetes? Because nobody else is doing it.
My life passion now is to educate as many people as I can about diabetes.
We all need to sound the alarm. Sound the alarm and help awaken the rest of the world to the seriousness of this disease.
Life is not over. It's not over. This is not the end of your life.
Walk proudly. And you can manage it.
There it is, A Touch of Sugar. So definitely want to check that out. Really interesting film. Again, follows some people in their journey of that. A lot of silent individuals over there. It's interesting statistics, right? If we just keep going the way we're going, where this is going to be. So definitely check it out, atouchofsugar.com. You'll find out the information. If you forgot about what dates those were to go watch that, just check your local listings there. Sorry about that, Jesse. I kind of sprung that on you, by the way. You okay over there?
Yeah, that's fine. We got 20 seconds.
He's like, wait, what? We're not supposed to take another. I know. I threw that one out on him. That was me, not him. Me. Poor Jesse.
Yes. 10 seconds. You're killing me.
Sorry. Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM, KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live. All right, so look, touchofsugar.com, that's where it's at. All you have to do is get the documentary, go subscribe right there. You can also check it out on A&E and FY networks around the corner. Check your local listings. Also wanted to say a big shout out to Viola Davis for contributing to that. She narrates the film as well and talks about her own story and her own journey with her family as well. She came out quite publicly about this. It's interesting. People say that there's a stigma. I didn't know there was a stigma, to be honest. I'm just like, yep, our family has diabetes. I never thought there was a stigma associated with it. But I guess I could see that. I guess how people could be like, well, you eat too much sugar. And then they're like, you brought that upon yourself. I guess I could see that. But definitely should not be shamed. It needs to be talked about and, of course, managed better. So want to say thank you to each and every one of those that got onto this film to let us all know what is being done about it. Also, a big shout out to Grant Mobley, who's the diamond expert. Now you know, right? Now you know. I didn't even know this was a thing. I always thought in the back of my mind somewhere that it would be interesting if you could figure out a way to recreate diamonds. And I guess this had been done for quite some time. But, now we are aware of this. So how many of you guys knew that? Did you know, Jesse, that they were like, I knew there were cubic zirconiums, but now this whole grown in a lab type diamond, I'm wondering what else they're going to grow. Really? You knew that? Oh.
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh. I'm going to have to quiz you more often then. All right. So there you go. So now we all know. But very good information for the half of us that didn't know, because I guarantee a lot of people didn't know about that. Let's see. We've got Diana Chenevere in social media says, I had a beautiful ring with huge real diamonds, but it attracted too much interest, so I gave it away. It wasn't a wedding ring, but it was. If it was, I would have kept it because I'm sentimental. All right, you know what? But why would you give it away so that they can get more attention? I don't understand that. Now, here's the thing. Go visit Angel Jewelers. They can actually modify a ring for you. And I would have said that. Have our friend Liliana Angiani and her husband Dino go check out your ring. They can remodify it. They can make it, and then they can make it into like a necklace. They can do all kinds of things. So Angel Jewelers, big shout out to them. Rancho Cucamonga. You can also find them on Facebook. Okay, we got to let you guys go. We appreciate each and every one of you. Make it a great day. Remember, life is worth living. Jesse, take it away. All right, so we appreciate each and every one of you for spending time with us here on the morning show. Big shout out to Taz over there, who shared with Emilia Rivera. I don't know if he shared it. He said this, Aaron, I ran into our friend Emilia Rivera, and he has the voice. And look, we talked about it. I'm telling you, right? We talked. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, okay. He just walks tough, Emilia Rivera. Big shout out to the entire team over there. Sons of Anarchy spinoff. Mayans, yeah, the Mayans doing some great stuff. Danny Pino, who we've had on here on the show, which I think he could be like the next Superman. I'm just saying. I tell him all the time on the red carpet, you should try out for the next Superman. You got that look. But there you go. All right. Well, we appreciate each and every one of you. Let's see. We got lots of stories we didn't really get to, like this one. Ricky Gervais to host the Golden Globes in 2020. What do you think? Good idea? Bad idea? I'm mixed on this, to be honest, because I think he's funny. I'm not going to say he's not. I just know in his last thing, they kind of roasted him being on that. But according to this, the 77th edition of the annual award show celebrating the year's best in film and television will air on Sunday, January 5th, 2020. It's the first big award show of the new year, and what some see as the formal kickoff to award season. He's a grizzled veteran. That's their words, not mine. The 2020 show will mark his 5th go-round as the evening's MC following a 3-year stretch from 2010 to 2012 and a subsequent return in 2016. You know what? We'll see what happens with this, right? I'm just glad it's not like the Emmys that said no host, because that was, I think, a complete fail. All right. We'll see everybody around the corner tomorrow right here on The Morning Show. Stay tuned for more right here on KVVB TV, Channel 33.